Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your man DJ Superjam, and I'm here on DJ League Talks again. And this time we have a very special lady. She goes by the name of Chrissy T, female vocalist, amazing female vocalist. Chrissy, how you doing? Want to say hi to you
I'm
today?
doing well. I'm doing
All right,
very well.
glad to have you on the show. Uh, yeah, first of all, like I've been listening to some of your songs and so on. It's like you have such an amazing voice, and I know that people are going to be they're going to be like wondering, when did you get into music? Why did you go into music?
So I've been doing music since I was a little girl. I grew up singing in the church. I also grew up singing in school as well, joining different choirs and things like that. I had my first solo when I was about 5 years old
Wow.
and kind of got bit by the bug then. Had to overcome some stage fright along the way. But I pretty much knew since I was about 14 or 15 years old that this was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I knew that singing or performing was just something that I wanted to do. It's just a feeling that I I just I just love. I can't get enough of.
Yeah.
And so I went and pursued it in college. I studied opera as well, so I have a very eclectic background in music. Um, from grew up singing gospel and singing choral music to joining jazz bands in college, and so my taste in music and what I love to sing is such a wide range. And I also get my love of music from my parents. Have to shout them out for putting me on to so many different types of music. Um, my father was a horn player, and so he
Wow.
played a lot of different kind of music in the house, from rock to rock and roll to country to jazz, funk, everything.
Mhm.
And my mom also sung as well, so all
Wow.
of these
That's
yeah
beautiful.
all of these things just kind of came together. It was kind of kismet. And so once I graduated from college with a degree in music, I'm like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm gonna figure it out, but but this is what I want to do.
Yeah,
So,
it's really amazing. Like just hearing some of these songs. One of the songs that they're promoting right now on DJ League, which is the song "Shine," where you have
yeah,
that sample in there from Everyday People. I was like,
yeah.
I heard that, I was like, uh-oh. And then to hear how it changes from that sample and that kind of a 90s feel, and then it goes into the newer style. And so, I mean, just really, really capturing a lot of different styles. Uh, like what is some of your influences, like singers that you like, or singers that you think you have some yeah that some styles and so on that are incorporated in
Yeah.
yours.
So I grew up on a lot of old school artists, um, building my chops with like Aretha Franklin's music, Shaka Khan, Natalie Cole. Um, Definitely grew up on, gospel music as well, the Clark sisters, the Pace sisters, um, Vanessa Bell Armstrong. But as far as like, I guess you could say contemporary artists or artists that I really am influenced by, and that definitely I would say inspired the journey that I went on with this particular album and that song. Brandy is one of my biggest influences.
All right.
Huge Brandy fan, as well as love me some Mariah Carey. Um, Also, I would say Solange is another one. Beyonce, I have to say Beyonce as well, just as far as like how they approach vocal layering and stacking and,
Hmm.
the harmonies that they infuse throughout their music. Those are some of my favorites. And Jill Scott, I'll also add Jill Scott to that list.
Ooh, there you go. No, so you're hitting so many different directions, and then also with the jazzy vibe that's in there and so on. That's really something. Uh, like let's see. Just try. I mean, I'm like kind of blown away because normally I have to ask the questions and just and you just have so much energy already with everything that you're saying of what you're doing and everything. You got into music, like surrounded by music with your family and everything. That's really great. And so right now, are you doing like live performances? Have you done like a lot of recent stage stuff like with your new music and so on?
I have not as of yet. Right now, I've been doing a lot of, I gig regularly, yes, but as far as my own music,
Oh, okay.
I have not just yet. I have debuted at some different events in here and there, but as far as like a live concert, not yet, but it's on the way.
Okay. All right. And so when you
Yeah.
when you're doing your concerts and you're doing like cover songs, or like what classic soul or what is it that you do there?
So I gig regularly with a band called Blue Water Kings. We do a lot of different types of top 40 music. So we do a lot of different events where they will specifically ask for a certain style of top 40. Maybe it's 80s, or maybe it's 90s, or maybe it's 70s, or maybe it's the fusion of all the different genres. But a lot of it's just popular tunes that people can groove to. And if I'm able to infuse my music in there, then that's great.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, I DJ weddings and stuff like that also, so I kind of know that vibe when you have to just play,
Mhm.
what the crowd wants and then do it. But to sing it, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, I just play it, you know. But that's the
Yes.
thing. Like also like with DJ League, the cool thing about this is it's a collaboration of DJs from all over the world and from radio stations
So,
all over the world. So when your song is when the DJs get your song, they can play it on their radio shows. They can put it in their mixes. And some of the DJs are from radio stations. So it's like the same way I have one radio station. I do a weekly show in Berlin called Pele One, which is also one of the DJ League uh, uh, radio stations where we do also another weekly show that's done just from DJ League. So right now we have, I don't know, I think it's like 14 radio shows like South Africa,
wow.
uh, uh, Canada, States, Italy, in different parts of Asia. It's all over the place. So this is really a cool thing to be able to have like an interview going on. What we do also is we take sound bites of the interview, and so before your song plays, we'd have like just a little piece of what we're talking about now and so on. So it's really going to be something, and I'm really glad to have a artist of your caliber on here. Definitely. Uh,
Appreciate
let's talk a little bit about some of your songs, like some of the what's the one that I heard that like was stuck in limbo.
it. Mhm.
That one really nice. Like, what kind of influences do you have? Like, what not influences? Let's say, what type of ideas do you have to start out a song, or what's some of your ways of creating?
Well, when I first heard that track, produced by Bobby Deuce, and also produced by Greg Owens, who was my main producer on the album.
Hmm.
When he sent me that track, I love a good groove. I love something that I can vibe to, I can bob my head to. And so as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, I got to write to this track. And I instantly heard a melody in my head. I'm oftentimes hearing the melody first,
Hmm.
and I'll figure out the words later. But when I heard the melody to the chorus, what I do a lot is I journal. I've been a person who has journaled for many years. And so I have all these different journals, and I'll just go into one of my journal entries and see what was I talking about on this day, or, what about these different, sections of the journal? What is kind of the vibe I've been, going with? And so at that particular time in my life, I was going through this period of just feeling like I need to get out of this rut that I'm stuck in. I just feel like I don't know how I'm going to get to the next level, but I just know I need to take a step forward. And so I said that would be really dope to write about, because I know I'm not the only person who has been, in this particular journey in their life. And so I just wanted to write from that perspective of like, motivating people to, you don't have to have it all figured out to take the next step to where you're going.
Yeah.
You just got to take that step and believe in yourself. So it's really just, it's a motivational kind of bop, I would say.
Definitely cool. So
Yeah.
you get a melody in your head and you don't forget that melody, or do you have to like hum it or record it or something, or is it just there every time you hear that song again?
Sometimes if it is like contagious, I don't have to record it, but most times I'll hear something and I'm like, let me just put it in my voice memo for later
Yeah.
so I can reference it back. But that particular song, I definitely had that stuck in my head.
Wow. You had so the album that you have out now, is that the album now, Metamorphosis EP? That's the one
Yes.
that's out right now that came out in September.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you have I wasn't able to check like videos and so on. Have you got any videos for that one?
I don't have videos out just yet. That is the next thing I'm working on. I'm an independent artist, so
Yeah,
I
so
am self-promotion
I
is
get you. I get you.
everything.
Step by
So
step.
it's yeah, step by step. That is definitely the next thing I'm working on because it's definitely in demand. So yeah,
So that's like a little bit of some of the challenges that you have as an artist.
yeah.
What's some of the other challenges that you have that you've worked on or figured out things?
Um, I'll say this, and I don't know if this is necessarily an artist thing or just a me thing, but just learning to um not do everything myself. Because I can tend to be that type of person where I'm like, I'll figure it out and I will just, do it all myself. And I've had some really, really amazing people along the way so far who have said, you know what, let me take this off your hands. Let me help you with this, or let me help you do this over here. So I'm really thankful for, people in my family and my close inner circle who has been able to help me with certain things. But honestly, I think one of the biggest things that I have, I won't say struggled with, but I've been learning along the way is just there's no formula to this stuff. Like you can try to follow a formula that maybe works for someone else, but that might not be your path. And I'm right now just trying to discover what is Chrissy T's path and what's gonna work for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very cool. What's some of your most memorable moments, like in the studio or something that happened or somebody that you met or something?
Oh my goodness. Some of the most memorable parts of the studio. So I'll tell you this. The first song that I recorded on the album was a song called Shadows. It's the second track on my EP. And when I first started to write to it, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety in my life. My father had just passed away like a few months before.
Wow.
And so, yeah, thank you. And just trying to deal with just the grief of that and knowing that I wanted to um, move in a space where I wanted to grow and expand, but it was just a lot of anxiety at the time. And I remember kind of just emoting all of that into the track. And you can literally feel it when you're listening to the song. I think that's why when people hear that song specifically, you get to the chorus and it's just like this outcry of what I was trying to express in that moment of just like moving the anxiety out the way to get to what I needed to get to, which is deliver this song. And
Wow.
so it's a really powerful song when you hear the lyrics and when you feel how I'm singing it. So
What's
that
what's
was a
the,
pretty
what's the name of
special.
that song again?
It's called Shadow.
Shadows. I definitely have to listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's a dance track. It's very groovy, kind of like that dance soul kind of feel to it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. What do you call it? For aspiring singers and so on, what advice can you give them? And you've already been throwing a whole bunch of advice right now, so I know they're gonna be checking this. They're gonna be watching this. They're like, oh, what can I learn?
Yes. Well, I also have to say I'm an educator as well. I'm a performing arts educator. I've been teaching for over 10 years. I've vocally, taught many young people. And so I would just encourage people to first and foremost is to make sure you build up your chops. Make sure that you are, you know what your sound is. And that might take you some time. Don't try to sound like these other artists or your favorite artists. What works for them works for them.
Hmm.
So build up, sing, get out there, whether it's you go into a karaoke bar or whether you're going to an open mic or, someone over here says, can you sing for this event? You have to build yourself up to, where you get to a place where you feel super confident in your gift and you know what your sound is. It took me a while for me to find my own sound because, like I said, I was so um and I was just so inspired by all these different genres that I could do. But then it got to a point where it was just like, okay, how can I bridge that into what my sound is? So finding out your sound, and I would also say start journaling. Start journaling for so many reasons. Like, yes, it definitely helps with songwriting tips, but it also helps just it helps to it's very cathartic. It's healing when you're writing and getting out what's inside of you. And it could also be very inspiring if you are a person who's like, I want to write my own music. Write from your own personal experiences because that's what's really going to resonate with people. So that's just some of the things.
That's good. No, that's good. I mean, I looked sometime I looked through like old, and I never called it journaling. I never knew what it was called, but I would just have an idea and I'd start writing things down. Sometimes it was a poem, sometimes it was a letter, sometimes it was just like something that now 20 years later when I look at it, I'm like, oh wow, what was I
Yeah.
talking about there? And what happened there, and how am I better at doing these things now? So it's yeah, it's definitely that's a really helpful tool. Also the recording, like you say, you do the voice recording sometime and just throw an idea in there and so on.
Hmm.
That's definitely good stuff. So you have your first single with DJ League. What's been your experience with DJ League right now?
It's been amazing. So far, I just love how they've, reached out and was just showing me love. First of all, I appreciate that. And then just being able to say, this is what we can do for you, believing in my artistry is one thing, but to actually put action to it and, actually want to promote, like that means the world to me. So it's been great.
All right. Yeah, that's the thing also that they motivated me when I started had contact with them and so on, and I was like, wow, they write you right back.
Right.
You write a text or email or whatever, and boom, in 5 minutes
Very responsive.
and yeah, and you don't catch that normally. Everybody's about, yeah, pay your dues and that's it, and and yeah, so it's definitely a good crew to be connected with. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing more things from you, videos coming and live performances, you on tour, and
Yes.
yeah, no, I can picture all of that getting ready to happen. You just yeah, put those things into place, like you say, you know,
Yeah.
get
I
out
would definitely say,
there.
and I don't know if this is a testament to DJ League or not, but I did recently receive some amazing news that my debut single, Stuck in Limbo, reached #1 on the Amazon Music UK's Hot Release R&B chart.
Wow,
Um,
congratulations.
so thank you.
That is
So
really
like, I'm like, I don't know if that's DJ League or not, but I appreciate it, whoever is,
just, I mean, that's just because
showing love.
you're very talented, and it's showing, and it's going to
Thank
continue to show, definitely. So, is there anything that you'd still like to say? Anybody you want to shout out, or anything else
Yes, I
that
want
you have for us?
to. I'm sorry, say that last part.
No, is there anything else that you want to say, like to the viewers?
Yes, well, first of all, I want to shout out my producer, Greg Owens. He did everything on the back end of just making sure that it was well produced, mixed, mastered, engineered. I mean, he did background vocals. He did it all. He's a Renaissance man, and I appreciate the work that he put into making this project successful. And I just want to shout out DJ League for the interview, and just shout out DJ League for promoting my music. I really appreciate it, and you're doing a wonderful thing for artists such as myself. So keep doing your thing, and just shout out to all the listeners out there. Please go listen to my EP, Metamorphosis. It is available on all platforms. My debut single, Stuck in Limbo, is out right now. So go check it out. It's it's a vibe.
Definitely that. All right. Well, this has been DJ League Talks with Chrissy T. I'm gonna like stay close on the line as I stop the recording. I'll hit you back and a couple of things still to talk about. But yeah, it's been really a pleasure having this interview with you. Definitely one of the best ones that we've had. And yeah, can't wait to see what's coming next from you, Chrissy.
Thank you. I
Uh,
appreciate it.
all right, DJ Superjam out. We will see you on the next one. So